today is technically July 20th, but I wanted to give an update for July 19th, yesterday, last night, technically. Last night was a really good writing day. I ended up having to transcribe a lot of the handwritten stuff that I had done from previous days onto my Word document. And with that, I also made sure that I got credit on the Nano site for those words. And I am now just over 500 words away from winning Camp Nano. This morning, I did write a few more words, several in fact. I ended up writing some more, and so I plan on transcribing those during Tiffany's TL Russ Lifestyles PJs and Scribbles today. And with that, this will be the third time that I am winning or finishing something on a PJs and Scribbles stream. If I do win Camp NaNoWriMo this month early again, I don't know whether I'm going to film after this or not. I don't know if I should keep filming or anything and then just post this next Wednesday, but I will ask the chat in Tiffany's stream later, and I'll see what the chat says. I'll probably film the rest of it just because I still need to revise and fix some consistency issues with His Immortal Majesty. So I still have that to do technically, but I am 513 words away from hitting 18,000, which I rounded up from the difference with His Immortal Majesty with the new chapters and everything. I rounded up. It was like 17,000 and something, and I rounded up to 18,000 so I'd give myself enough room to add words if I needed to. On top of that, I am also almost done with chapter 31. I still haven't even, I'm like 2/3 of the way through. I'm still not at that last third. I'm still not there yet. And it's already over 3,250 words, which was my planned word count for this chapter. So I meant what I said when I said that chapter 31 is going to look as long as chapter 34, which is over 5,000 words. So it might just, it very well might just be as long as that. I have such high hopes for this chapter. I really hope it turns out well. I hope I did well with a certain scene, because there's a certain song that I put with it, and I don't know if I described it very well, but I'm just going to see what happens and see what future me says about this particular scene. So that's going to be it for my update from yesterday. I will probably update you guys again when I come home tonight, but we shall see if I won Camp Nano and whether or not I'll still be filming for the rest of this week. So I won Camp Nano yesterday, like I said. I decided to celebrate with a couple of glasses of wine. They were like this small. Like the glass was like this small, the actual like bowl of the glass. Because it was like one of those like little itty bitty wine glasses. Not like a flute or anything, but it was like a really small glass. So I had 2 of those. I felt fine after eating after all that. And I woke up this morning like really tired, so I had a little bit of coffee. And I decided to continue celebrating, so I got myself something from Fizz, and it's called Strawberry Fields. So it has strawberry, vanilla, and then I put a little bit of coconut cream in there. It's an Italian soda. So, and then I added one more syrup, which is called Tiger's Blood, because you're able to customize the things that you get. And I also got a pretzel, because I haven't had a pretzel in so long, and when I saw that Fizz was selling pretzels, I had to get it. Sadly, I wish I kind of added whipped cream to it, because I'm sure that would have made it so much better. But hindsight's 2020. But it's still really good. There's a maraschino cherry wandering about in there, which is good, because I love maraschino cherries when it's on top of something. I usually don't like them by themselves, but they're one of my favorite kind of cherries to have. The original purpose for me coming outside out of my house today was to get a package from my mom. I received a little pink slip from the post office saying, hey, come pick up a package, and I was like, okay, so I need to come pick it up tomorrow, because I saw it last night and it was too late, because I grabbed it while I was out on my way to work. So I grabbed it today, and so while I was out, I was like, you know what, maybe I should get something nice for me. So I got a nice Italian soda and a salted pretzel. No dippings, because I like my pretzels plain. Especially if they're the really soft pretzels. I really like them just plain. I don't like to dip them in anything. But that's just me. I will continue filming throughout the entirety of July, and I will also keep filming afterwards, after July, so I'll keep making videos after this. I don't know if I'm gonna continue the week-long ones. I might film every other day after July, but as far as July goes, for sure I will be filming at least every day, or I will try to. So keep on looking forward to weekly vlogs, because those seem to be doing pretty well for themselves, as just a video format. The shorts are doing very well, I know that. And Nia gave me a really handy tip about fixing the music for the shorts, because I've gotten some copyright claims, because I used to use Canva's music library. And so she gave me a really neat tip to use YouTube's music library. Just mute the music I already have on the video, and I don't even have to remake them. So all I have to do is just mute the sound for YouTube specifically. So I can have different music for TikTok, and then I'll have a completely different set of music for my shorts. And of course, the multitasker brain inside me is like, hey, exclusive content. So if they don't have TikTok, they get exclusive footage for YouTube. The marketing brain is going nuts with this. It's like, oh, that's a good tactic, that's a good thing, let's do that. So thank you, Nia, Vixen of Fiction, for that little tip. I have used it for chapter 20. Yes, I've used it for chapter 20 already, and I plan on using it for all the other chapters afterwards, when doing my YouTube shorts. That way I can, kind of use it as a marketing tactic. It's very handy. So thank you, Nia, for that little tip. I am excited to test it out to see if I get copyright claimed again and again, because this is chapter 19 was the 4th short that I had gotten a copyright claim for, and so instead of having to write down all of the songs that got copyright claimed, I can just mute the sound and add a new one from YouTube's music library. Okay, it's getting a little bit warm in my car, so I am gonna go ahead and sign off and send you guys off to a different clip that shows me unboxing my mom's package. Hey friends! So you might notice that I'm at a bit of a wider angle, so you are now like the length of my 2 bookshelves. But there is a reason for that. This is my mom's package. She sent it to me straight from her house, and some of you might know that she went to Universal Studios over in Florida, and I just recently found out that she went to Hawaii as well. So I don't know where this is from, and I don't know what exactly it is. She wouldn't tell me. So let's find out what it is together, shall we? I just gotta plaster this thing with tape. Ugh. Now, she said that I have to be careful when tossing out the paper that's in here, because there are some things that are in here. These are like plastic bags, so I don't know what else would be in here aside from plastic bags. Ooh. One thing my mom likes to do whenever she sends me packages for anything is she likes to get me sweets. So I have, let's see. Yeah, I have some Harry Potter themed ones, and I have the Birdie Bots. I've got some Butterbeer chewy candy. I'm gonna keep this barrel for reasons. There's something inside this. Wonder what it is. Oh, that's cute. I got a cute little mini ornament from her. Got something in here. Oh, it's big. And because it's wrapped up, it's probably glass or porcelain or something. I had asked her about this, or she had asked me if I wanted it, and I told her yes, I did. And she recently moved, so she was trying to get all settled and stuff, so she couldn't really ship anything while she was doing that. So she sent me this right after she moved. Found the lid for it. Well, that's about all there is to this package. Another thing about my mom is she does love her shredded paper. There is shredded paper everywhere in that box. So that's about it, and I will see you guys in the next clip. I also forgot to mention that last night while I was kind of celebrating, I also celebrated with playing video games instead of handwriting or doing anything. So one of the games I played was Mario Kart 8, but I also celebrated with playing one of my favorite games, Monster Hunter. And I've told you guys about Monster Hunter a little bit before, not in any videos, but if you've seen me on Twitch or on YouTube, you've seen me kind of talk about it. So I played a little bit of Monster Hunter Rise, the Sunbreak DLC, and I decided to try and fight this guy. This guy is essentially the equivalent of God. I fought him, and he has several moves that basically they create tornadoes. There's one that creates like 4 tornadoes, there's one that creates 6, and there's one where he literally personifies a tornado himself a couple of times. So he'll make one big massive one, and then he'll create another one on the outside of him instead of on the inside of it, the little circle that he does. And after a while, I think during his second phase, he starts using lightning powers. So he starts trying to electrocute you. He is known as the Amatsu, and he is a really, really powerful elder dragon, so I can't capture him even if I wanted to. So I decided to celebrate by doing that, by literally pretty much fighting God, and I got pretty close. I got a decent amount of the way through. I had my character eat some things before she went on this hunt, and what I ate was the dango that your character eats gives you certain abilities and certain buffs so that you can fight the monster just a little bit better than you would have if you just went straight in, no buffs or anything. So I ate some dango that gave me Insurance, Slugger, and Weakener. Insurance just makes sure that one of the deaths that happen doesn't count towards my overall, failure. So instead of the normal 3 times you're able to faint, with Dango Insurance, you're able to faint 4 times before the reward goes down to 0 and you're transported back to the village. Dango Slugger just means you're able to stun the monster a little bit easier, and you're able to break parts just a little bit easier than normal. Dango Weakener makes sure that it gets a 50-50 chance that the monster's already weakened before you even head into the quest. I wouldn't say before, but once you head into the quest, there's a 50-50 chance that the monster's already weak. Not weak enough to kill it really quickly, but weak enough to where you can kind of get a head start into either capturing it or just killing it, depending on the type of monster you select. Those 3 are normally my go-to, especially Slugger and Weakener. So that's my go-to for literally any monster, because without any of those buffs, I usually have a difficult time with fighting the monster, especially if it's this one. Even though I died pretty much all 4 times that I was given, even though I pretty much failed the quest, I still had a lot of fun trying to fight it. When I play Monster Hunter, I typically like to listen to Odd Chap's DMCA free electro swing music. It was suggested to me by Coffee Quills, and I started listening to it while I played Monster Hunter, because if it made me more productive while I wrote, maybe it could do the same for my games. And that turned out to be true. I think I got halfway through this Amatsu fight before it electrocuted the F out of me and killed me, which happened to be my last death. So I was listening to that, and I think that's probably why I got halfway through this fight, because I zoned out. I kind of focused on both monster and music at the same time, and I was able to get pretty far into the fight, whereas before, when I was fighting with a hunting partner of mine, I died at the second move, because we enraged it pretty quickly into that fight, and it created a large tornado which flung me up into the air, and then it split off into 4, and then that killed me, and then it did it again and killed my hunting partner. So we just decided to leave. We just decided to leave the fight entirely, because we were not going to be able to do it on our own unless we were a higher level, or unless we had better armor stats and whatnot. So we just needed to get better at fighting and progress more as a hunter. But regardless of whether I failed or not, I still had a lot of fun fighting that. I've never fought it before in my entire Monster Hunter career, and so it was a very new but exhilarating experience, and I might fight him again, I just don't know when. So yesterday was a fun day. So I told quite a few people about this already, but yesterday we had a very quick storm roll through, and it took out only half the power and the internet as well. So half the laundromat that I work at was working, so like some dryers were working, some weren't. Some washers were doing the same thing. Like all of our top loader washers, the ones you load in from the top, of course, they were all working. None, pretty much only a select few of our front loaders were working. None of our Dexter dryers, except for one, was working. And all of our Milnors, which is our industrial washers, all of those were pretty much working except for one. One of them was having a door issue. And so we had to wash and dry somebody's comforter, basically for free, because she had come in to do it herself. But the big old washer that she was using didn't extract, so her comforter was soaking wet when the power went out. So we offered to wash it and dry it for her, and I went and folded it for her once the power came back on. I went and folded it after it was done drying, and so that was my adventure yesterday. Half our power went out and our internet went out, and I went to use one of the company phones because it said new voicemail. That's how I know it's working. And as soon as I pulled it off the thing, it says line in use, and then I plug it back in and it says no line, which means it's not working, it's not connected to nothing. And I basically was like, seriously, as soon as I go to try to use you, what the So that was my day yesterday. I was still able to do most of my job pretty well because it was mostly all just work clothes, so all I had to do was use the Milnors, thank goodness. And a lot of the dryers that I typically use were working except for two, which is also fine because great, I can still do my job and I can still, you know, get everything done. Today, the power is out completely again. So I wake up, I'm fine and dandy, my fan's on because it's like 100 degrees and it gets hotter in the evenings, don't know why, but it gets hotter in the evenings. And as soon as my boyfriend calls, that's when I notice my fan's off, because I look over and it's not doing anything. It's not even blowing air. It's like it's just completely off. And I'm like, I think my power is off again. And I go and look, my oven's off, my microwave is off, my coffee maker's off because it's plugged in. My TV is off because it also hooks up to the power, and how I know that is it has Vizio at the bottom. So because it's a Vizio TV, and the Vizio, normally when the TV's connected to the power, it displays orange or white if I have the TV actually on and playing something. But it wasn't orange at all, it was just off. Any and all lights were off. I tried playing with my living room light, that wouldn't turn on. So I had to find a flashlight to bring into the bathroom because I had to pee. And I don't have a window in my bathroom. So that's why I'm here right now in my car, is because I need some devices charged. And Nothing works in my apartment. My fridge is off as well, and it's a super fun weekend. Let's just say that. It's been a super fun weekend so far, and it's just, I'm trying my best to stay in a good mood, which is working, because I'm not really bothered by this. It's more just like, okay, here we go again, light a few candles, and then we're all done. But yeah, I have to charge a few devices because, one, I have to film on my phone, and I have an editing software on my phone as well, so I need to have my device fully charged in order to do that. I'm pretty sure that the laundromat is closed and is going to be closed if the power does not come back on by the time I have to go to work. Which I suppose for my coworker and I is good, but considering I had left her 2 fairly small drop-offs last night, it's not good because she has to get those done by the afternoon. And so it's just gonna create problems. But she and I have both reserved a few drop-offs from yesterday to do today, so it's gonna be good in that aspect, meaning we'll be able to get it done. But as for whether or not we're actually open to customers, I don't think so. If it's not on by the time I have to get there to do everything, then I don't know what to do. This is the first time it's been out like 2 days in a row. So this would be the 3rd complete power outage that I've been through in Elko. Yesterday was a partial, which was weird. I've never seen that before, and of course I was at work, and I was like, what's happening? I was very confused, to say the least. I was very confused about it. And then yesterday, before the power outage, I'm sitting here running like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to take care of all these loads, because I had this one person drop off, and they had like 5 separate bags full of just laundry, just casual like family clothes, like day clothes and stuff. So I had to do that, and I had to separate them all into like 5 washers, 5 dryers, and so that's what I had to do, and that's the one that I had reserved for today, for me to do today. But anyway, I'm getting off track. This guy, this older gentleman, I wouldn't say he's too old, but he's definitely an older gentleman. He put like a couple pairs of pants into one of our top loaders, and then started complaining that the water wasn't hot enough, and I stuck my hand into the water, and I was like, oh, it's kind of lukewarm, it should be fine. And then I gave him a full refund for the top loaders, which was $3.25. And then he comes back later because he switched to a front loader, which was more, which our front loaders cost more than our top loaders. And he's like, I can't check the water, and you shorted me 3/4. I'm like, what do you mean I shorted you 3/4? I gave you $3.25 for a top loader. What happened to the $5 I gave you? I didn't swear at him, but I try to remain professional, but I was getting really frustrated with this guy because he kept bothering me while I was trying to do my job. I understand customer service is part of my job, but for when a customer bothers me so often, it starts to get a little bit frustrating because it shows how absolutely needy he is. And it shows that I have to hold his hand, and it's frustrating because he comes in here like maybe once every week, and sometimes he'll bring his comforters, and next time he brings his comforters and needs a bedding bag, I'm just gonna tell him that I can't do it anymore, because most of the time when that happens, I'm usually busy doing something else. Like, while he was bothering me, I was also dealing with another customer whose dryer wasn't getting hot enough as well, which is understandable. It was a much older dryer, so it's understandable because sometimes the dryer's heat goes out. It happens with dryers. But with washers, like, there's nothing I can do about the freaking washer and your stupid water not being hot enough for you to do your laundry. The water's not supposed to be scalding hot, okay? It's for the kids as well. And he was complaining about how he couldn't check if the water was hot enough on the front loader. He couldn't open the door to check. And I'm like, well, yeah, the water puts pressure on the front, so if you open it up, it's gonna flood the entire floor. It's so kids don't randomly open the door while you're doing your laundry on front loaders. Our Dexters do the same thing. They lock and they stay locked until the end of the cycle. So yeah, I guess this is basically the life of a worker of a laundromat. And I know some laundromats don't have workers, but we have to have workers because we don't have a quarter machine, and we do a drop-off service. We don't do dry cleaning because we don't have the proper equipment for it. But this is basically my life. This is what I do for a living. But yeah, that was my adventure from yesterday, was the guy complaining and half the laundromat going out. I know I explained it to Des and JC because Des was on Twitch playing Minecraft, so I needed something like that. I needed just a chill day, and then as soon as I was able to, I looked at my notifications and I saw that she was live on her alternate account for Minecraft specifically on Twitch. And it was a sanity saver. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't a lifesaver, but it definitely saved my sanity. Especially with one of Desi's friend, who's Kage. I don't know his full username, but we call him Kage. He was hilarious, and my sanity was saved by the end of the day. And I was able to make some dinner because the power came back on at around like 6:40. And now the power's out completely, and I don't know if I want a chance making cereal, because I do have milk. I do have some milk, and I do have some of that, but it's frustrating because now the power's out completely and again, and I don't know what happened. And my internet provider, Frontier, is letting me know some updates. They're still out, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened, but this is my life today. And the power's out basically from Railroad Street all the way up basically. I want to say it's up to one of the tree streets, which is like way up there. So like you have to go up 5th Street and go way up there. It's like right next to the highway. But I think the power's off all the way up there. It might be farther, I don't know. So Walmart might be out. I know Family Dollar's out, or at least one of them. And so I can't really do much. Albertsons is probably out as well, but I don't know the power grid system. I don't know which particular grid Walmart is on or anything, so I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure whether to go to any of the stores to try and figure out which one's open, which one's not. I know Roy's across from the laundromat is out of power, so I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know what to do except for just wait and charge all my devices, which is really just my phone and a few portable chargers, because why not? I've been meaning to charge those anyway, so that's what I'm doing here in my car instead of in my house filming and editing and stuff. As far as writing goes, I didn't get much done either today so far or even yesterday. I didn't get that much done. Hell, I barely got any reading done. I read like one short story from Tiny Shivers. I read like one. And then that old man who was complaining about the stupid water bothered me again, because I was trying to take a break before I had to deal with the large, massive load of laundry that I was taking care of. I had like 6, maybe 5 more minutes until I had to do that, and then I had to check his stupid water, and I couldn't really get much of a break, so I was on my feet all day, and so my back and my feet were just hurting, despite the fact that I had memory foam shoes on, which normally on concrete floors are really good. But I didn't get much writing done yesterday, and nor did I get any done today so far, so it's just been a super fun weekend already. I needed to take a break from church as well, because I was tired last night, and I just needed to give my body a chance to get used to the day, I guess. Give my body a chance to wake up a little bit more, to kind of rest and recuperate before I had to head back to work and go through the same grueling process of everything. From where I'm sitting parked, I'm not seeing any customers at the laundromat. There might be some, but I just see a few customers like leaving. I see a few customers leaving Roy's as well, which makes me think that the entire grid's out again. So I don't know, I'm just playing it by ear right now. My boyfriend and I are gonna go out on Tuesday, so there's one blessing. Gotta count them. But yeah, that's my update. That was so much fun dealing with yesterday. Oh, and I told the Discord creators on Maine, I told the Discord that one of the doors for a washer fell off completely. It fell off on Friday while Santiago, our cleaning guy for the weekdays, while he was washing the fronts of the front loaders, of course, because he has to wash the tops and the fronts of all of our washers and our dryers to make sure they look nice and clean and stuff. But he was washing one of our Speed Queen front loader washers, and the whole door just snapped off its hinges and almost crushed one of his feet. All I hear is this loud bang, and he's like, Nicole, because he knows me. He's also the maintenance guy at my apartment complex, so he's doing that, so he knows me pretty well, because I also work with his wife on the weekends at least. So yeah, a door almost crushed his feet, and yeah, so I had to deal with that. I called the owner like a few minutes later saying, one of the doors just kind of fell off its hinge, so what do I do with it? She told me to just put it in the back by the tool bench, and because we have a tool bench there for her husband who works on the machines, and so that was fun. So I've had a fun 3 days so far. By the way, the washers, the water the laundromats typically use are supposed to be like 135, 140 degrees Fahrenheit, so nobody scalds themselves. So that's what I had to deal with yesterday as well. I'm pretty sure I have a bruise on one of my hands because I was hitting one of the Melnor's coin return things because it kept getting stuck. So that's basically what I had to do yesterday as well. Coin returns kept getting stuck. Power partially went out, so I'm having so much fun so far this weekend. Hopefully tomorrow is better.